Hi everyone, my name is Braylon Hayward, and this is my reflection of my senior year, a reflection of all 4 years of high school, otherwise known as my steps to education. So first, I want to talk about my academic growth. One thing about me, I have taken AP classes and honors classes all 4 years of high school, and I'm gonna be honest, it was never really easy. I personally struggled. I did not like to study. I'm A1 procrastinator. And so going into continuing to take these AP classes, going from an AP class freshman year that I would procrastinate to where everything I would do the night before and I would just YOLO the entire class, pass the class, don't know how, but I would YOLO the entire class, has been something that's been as I've completely changed. And I take time, I study, I work with my tutorial groups when I would take time as tutorials to just talk about anything but the subject matter. Now I take time and I work with my other classmates, especially in my AP class I'm taking now, AP Spanish, that requires a lot of time. It requires me to do outside of class work all of the time. And I think these steps and these AP classes have really just driven me to want to continue this career and an accelerated path by going to Clemson. Which is one of my personal dreams, to go to a really good school that I could focus on education at. So next thing I want to talk about is my community service. So if you didn't know, community service has been something that's been really, really important to me all 4 years. I have about probably over 300 hours of community service over the past 3 years, not counting this year. And it's something that I love. I love to get out in my community and help people. It's something so important to me. And two of my most memorable community service activities have to be the Jubilee Academy and working with Homeworks. Homeworks is an organization that works with people who aren't able to afford it after a natural disaster. Maybe their home is just old. They help them rebuild their home, whether that's inside and out. But they help out in the community and they help rebuild the community. And something that was so important, that's something I did that was so important to who I am. And it was so eye-opening to, how privileged I am, but what other people are going through and how I can help other people. Next, we have the Jubilee Academy. The Jubilee Academy is a Montessori school. It's a Montessori school a couple hours away, about an hour away from here. It was so important to do. I got to work with the kids there and help them rebuild their garden, and it gave me a sense of pride to help these kids, and it's something that I love to do. I love to work with kids, so I enjoyed it. But it gave me a sense of pride to work with these kids, to help them, give them a place to make their own fruits and vegetables for their school. Next, I want to talk about my future plans. For anyone who hasn't known and doesn't see my poster, I want to be an educator, specifically an elementary school educator in Spain or South Korea. I love teaching. Over the summer, I was a summer camp counselor, and I'm going to go back this year. But something that I fell in love with. Being a counselor, you do things that you wouldn't honestly think you do. You run around looking for shoes, you take your kids on summer camps, you bandage boo-boos, you sit with kids when they're crying and homesick because they're spending all day with their mom, they want to go home. You take kids, you do lesson plans, you help with homework. It's something that was so important to who I am, and I had so much fun. And it really was a moment that went, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be with kids this age and be in a classroom and help them learn and help them grow who they are, grow as a person, grow who they are. And watching those kids go from where they were at the beginning of the summer to the end of the summer was something that I will never forget. And it was something that I see my campers all the time out and about, and it's such an amazing feeling. And so I will forever carry that feeling with me, and I'll forever carry that thought process with me when I go into being an educator. And this is something that I knew in me, that this was what I needed to do. Next, I want to talk about a meaningful experience. For people who don't know, I have been a go kind of person my entire life. All 4 years of high school, I would always be doing something. Whether it was school, outside of school, didn't matter. I would always be doing something. And at some point, I had to stop. I was burning myself thin and I was running myself ragged constantly being on the go. With this upcoming year, I was doing the same. Before, it wasn't that big of an issue, but this year I really had to just stop and breathe. About in December, I was so overwhelmed with everything that I had taken on that it was just too much for me. So one thing that I really learned from this was you can't do everything by yourself. A crew of people who can help you is so important. To delegate items and delegate things that you can do, but you cannot do it all by yourself. And that is so insanely important. It's something that I've learned and I will take with me as I continue to attempt to try and step into leadership positions and do stuff like that for the next couple years. So finally, I want to talk about my personal self-growth and self-reflection. Coming into high school, I struggled with the diversity issue. Coming in, people tell me I looked white, I acted white. I have grown up around a very small group of people, a very specific crowd my entire life. And coming to Westwood brought in that diversity that I didn't have. And I will say, this sounds crazy, but it was an adjustment for me. And it was something that I found to love. I love how diverse Westwood is. I love the diversity of getting to meet new people and going to different clubs and meeting people at different schools. It's been something that has been so important, which has led me to want to study abroad. Being able to go abroad has been a goal for me for 2 years now. And it's because I love speaking. I've been learning how to be a Spanish speaker, and I love Spanish. But it's something that I want to pursue, and I want to actually continue outside of Westwood, outside of college, and into the classroom. Being an educator is something I've been working towards, and getting that experience, that field experience, experience with other students, experience with other teachers, has been something that's super, 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 super important to me. Over the past 4 years, I've gotten better at my time management with my calendar, my Google Calendar, and my personal planner. Things that I was honestly not really using prior to this year, but when you have so much stuff on your plate for your senior year, you really just have to go at it. You just have to put it down, and it'll work itself out. All of this stuff has really made me a better person and has made me look for the high rise, look across the mountain on the other side of the road or the wall. You know, there's green on the other side, and it's green on the other side. It's always made me, and I've always started to look that, you know what, it might be green on the other side, but I'm very good. I'm happy with where I am now. And I plan to continue to grow and take everything that I've learned over the past 4 years and take that with me, take it to heart as I do continue my journey at Clemson. And I'm so grateful for the experience that I've been able to go through this year. And I'm so grateful for all of the people that have helped me get there. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. And that was my senior reflection. Have a good one.